Okay, thank you. Okay. Minutes and claims.
Okay, we have 4 things to go over today. So January 27th minutes of 2026. Would ask for the commissioners to approve that, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All by?
Aye.
Aye.
Then we have a claim docket, January 30th, 2026 through February 6th of 2026 in the amount of $2,457,822.08. Would ask for the commissioners to approve that, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Approved.
We have a second claim docket dated January 23rd of 2026 through January 30th of 2026 in the amount of $1,899,944. Would ask for the commissioners to approve that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All by aye?
Aye.
Aye.
And last but not least, we have a payroll docket dated January 23rd of 2026 through January 30th of 2026 in the amount of $1,498,584.94. Pardon me, 95 cents. Would ask for the commissioners to approve that, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. On the docket first is a change order from our highway department.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So this change order is for Hasselberger Bridge. Will close out the project there. The only we have left to pay is this and retainage. So this change order is in the amount of $30,275.88. And it is due to the fact there were some overruns on several of the line items. One was pile driving, went a little bit. They had to extend a few piles. There was an overrun asphalt quantities and also an overrun on, they had to totally remove the indents, and they thought they could only partially remove. So just a few overruns on some line items just to clean up the final pay estimate.
Questions?
Nope. Motion to approve the change order.
Second.
All by aye?
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Okay, we have a biannual report from Kevin Hinton and Veterans Affairs this morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
This here is the new Indiana Code 10-17-1-9, formerly SEA 433 that was enacted last year. I'm just going to go over some of the key notes of it. On the second page, 3-1, it's basically saying that your CVSO has to be a paid employee, meeting require of at least 1,000 hours annually. Well, Vigo exceeds that. Then on the next page, it states that the office hours and address need to be on the county website, and that the office hours should be posted outside the door so veterans know when they can come and meet the county service officers. Chapter 4 is technology. During your CVSO has access to reliable internet, a capable office computer for claims management system, and research phone, PIV compatible smart card readers, which William told me this morning that they ordered 3 this morning. and he is working on getting his PIV card, which is, I'll talk about on down the line. Next page, your CVSO Ackley use IDVA required claims management for all required function meeting state standards. This claims management we call VetraSpec, and they use it on every claim. CVSO maintain an active PIV card using it's appropriate to access the Veterans Benefits Management System when needed and follow VA security protocol following meeting state and federal standards. Tim has one, but it's not currently functioning because he never did get a card reader, but he has one, and William is working on it, and Shelby just started her training to go that way. Your CVSO utilize all required technology, equipment, and system in full compliance with established protocol, security standards, and normal operating procedures while conducting daily veteran benefits assistance, fully meeting state standards. Your CVSO is scheduled to attend and pass all required annual training. A one-day training is hosted in April. A 4-day summer training, which will be at Johnson County, Armory, and Franklin, and that is from June 15th through the 18th. And then there'll be a 1-day fall district training in September. And we're bringing in a special law firm this year that specializes in veterans claims to train our county service officers in the state. So it's imperative that they go to this training in June. Your CVSO completes all mandatory online training modules and passes the associated proficiency examination as required by IDVA, fully meet state standards. Your CVSO has completed the VA TRIP training, passed the proficiency examination, and fulfill all other requirements for federal accreditation to represent veterans before the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, fully meet state and federal standards. Both Tim and William are accredited through IDVA and other veteran service organizations. We're working, getting Shelby set up with this TRIP training, and she should be starting it soon. Your CVSO reports all required information and activities in the claims management system and provides any requested data, records, and logs to the IDVA for verification and compliance and performance, fully meeting state standards. As soon as IDVA establishes those reports, the county veteran service officers will be required to report in the VetraSpec system, but they have not yet implemented that part of the law. Your CVSO meets all key performance indicators, fully complying with state standards. And that's all I got. Do you have any questions for me?
Okay. So these changes were all in the last legislative session to take effect
January 1st.
January 1st of 2026.
Right, and Vigo is in compliance, but if county CVSO in another county, there's a couple, if they're not in compliance by June 30th, then the Indiana Veterans Commission would let the county commissioners know that they're not in compliance and they're not going to and they're going to take their accreditation away from them.
Okay. And they've established a provision here to track by the state Department of Veterans Affairs, but they haven't put it into
The claims management
claims
system yet.
management system yet.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So that could be tomorrow or a year from now.
That's as soon as they can decide which logs they want to, what items they want to track, and then get Tyler Communication, which is the owner of the data system, to implement it into their system.
Okay, so that's going to be a fee for our Veterans Affair then, I assume, for software or
No,
or compliance or whatever?
they already have, the state provides one for the main county veteran service officer, Tim.
I see.
And then the county has 2 other accounts that the county already pays for.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick, sir, if you could get Director Adams here, we'd love to have him. Tim and William do a great job, and I would put our veteran service officers against any in the state on taking care of those folks. So if you could get him here, we'd love to have him and,
Sure,
get together and talk about everything that's going on.
sure, I'll pass that along to Director Adams.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, County Assessor Kevin Gardner.
Kevin Gardner, County Assessor. Thanks, Commissioners, for hearing me. I'll just do a quick briefing of why I'm making this request. The county has been with ProVal, which is our camera provider, since late 90s, then they changed their name and the format in the early 2000s. We've been with them ever since then. Out of the 92 counties up until mid-2000s, ProVal had 87 of the counties as their clients. Exsoft came around in 2006, and they started developing their software, making it better, more streamlined, picking up clients. From the mid-2000s until now, as of today, Exsoft has 85 of the 92 counties. ProVal has dwindled down to where they've got 5. To me, the problem with that is that's showing that there's a shift to where at some point it's not going to be profitable for ProVal to continue maintaining their software. I can't take the chance that that happens at the first of a year, which is when I have to do everything. That's when we have to roll values. That's when we have to reprice, install the cost tables. Basically, it's everything that begins the taxing process. Another example of the problems that has come around is when I first took office in 2019, if I had an issue with the software or the data, I could contact ProVal by phone and someone was working on it within the hour. No problem ever lasted more than 24 hours before it was resolved. I can tell you now, I can't pick up the phone and call anyone from ProVal. I have to submit a ticket. I have to wait for a response from them. Usually we're looking at 2 to 3 days before I get the initial response, and we're looking at months before the problem is resolved. Perfect example of that is, right now I can't even reprice and begin the ratio study process, which is due by the end of February, until I reprice the county. I can't reprice the county until ProVal gives me the cost tables. They just gave them to me last week. When I went to install them, there's an issue with the cost tables. So I can't start anything yet. If I don't get the ratio study done, we can't get out Form 11s, we can't do the new assessments, I can't roll to the auditor, everything just starts getting backed up. I can tell you from conference, Exsoft people have had their cost tables since the first week of January. So it just shows the lag in the softwares. So based on this conversion cost that I just presented to you, I just wanted to show you some numbers. I don't know what ProVal's initial conversion was because that was way before me. I can tell you Exsoft's conversion is $390,090. That's to buy the software, the licensing, have it installed, and the actual conversion and training. I can tell you maintenance with ProVal costs me $120,178 a year. Maintenance for Exsoft is $71,000 a year. I can tell you ProVal charges me an extra $3,750 a year to push our property record cards out to the Beacon website, which we have to do by mandate. I can tell you Exsoft charges nothing. That's part of our maintenance. So based on that, I can also tell you the increase in ProVal from 2022 to 2026 of their maintenance fees is 5.95% per year is what it went up. Based on the quote I was given from Exsoft in 2022 to this current quote, it went up 5.6%, which would be 1.2% per year. So if everything, the bottom part is I want to do a cost analysis over 3 years. So this first year is going to cost us, and I say the first year, I mean 2027. Because if they install it this year, we won't make our first check to them until 2027. They're deferring it for the year. For years 1, 2, and 3, Exsoft will cost us $611,723. So that's the conversion, because it's spread out over 3 years, plus the maintenance, the yearly maintenance, $71,000 a year. If we stayed with ProVal, it would be $416,413. The reason there's a difference there of $195,000 cost to the county is still because we had to pay for that initial software. If we spread that out over the next 3 years, years 4, 5, and 6, ProVal would have cost us for those 3 years $493,122. Exsoft will cost us $235,195, which is a savings to the county of $257,927. So in 6 years, the county will be already saving money, and then every year after that, it's an estimated roughly $85,000 a year the county's going to save. So this is still in the county's best interest, even though for 3 years it's going to cost. So that's why I'm proposing the software.
So have you went to the council yet for a formal request, or did you just go in front of them last week to let them know it's coming?
This was kind of a tricky situation for me because I know ultimately you guys sign contracts. So I could have just came to you and said, will you sign this contract? And if you do, then the council is just going to have to fund it. But I didn't want to do that. I went to the council just to give them a heads up that this is going to be my request. I will have to ask for some additional money for the next 3 years. After that, that money goes away and it's a savings to the county. So I am on their agenda or I will be on their agenda for March. But I would still like to have the contract signed, but that's ultimately up to you guys. This would come out of the reassessment fund, which is not the general fund. It is a levied fund that was set up by the DLGF and the state for us to be able to perform reassessments. It can only be used for reassessment purposes or the software. It is a healthy fund. It sits on quite a bit of surplus. This would barely touch the surplus.
If I'm not mistaken, that fund is excessive of $1 million.
It's got over $1 million surplus in it.
Correct.
Is there a termination process at ProVal? Are you under contract with them right now?
There is no contract. It's just a year-by-year maintenance. And I've already paid the maintenance for this year. So that's why if we did this contract, I would have them put the software on our system. We could start playing with it and training on it for the rest of the year. We would go live in November, and then I would not pay maintenance for ProVal in 2027.
Do you have a contract from Xsoft right now, a proposed contract?
That I presented to
Okay.
commissioners.
Well, Kevin, I was at Clyde's restaurant in Chinatown on Tuesday night in Washington, D.C. with my AirPods in, watching the whole council meeting, and it became quite dramatic. I believe you're the assessor, and you know what's best for the county when it comes to assessments. You have a fund with available cash to use to make this transition. I'm supportive. I don't believe this really requires, at this point, if they're going to prorate or extend this to pay 2027, you can actually probably put this in your
In the budget cycle,
in
which is
that-
what I knew
over
I
the
could
summer.
do, but I
So
still wanted to give a heads
I'm not sure what
up.
the reasoning is for the March meeting, but I'd like to just table it for this week.
That's fine.
I mean, so Terry can review this contract, and then we'll come back next week and vote on it, if that's okay.
I would totally agree with that.
So, motion to table.
Second.
All aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay. All right. I think that concludes most of the things we've had on our agenda for this morning. Are there any comments from the public this morning?
If you showed up to the commissioners' meeting last week, raise your hand. My bad. I forgot to tell the media that we weren't having a meeting, sorry.
All right.
One of the best meetings we've had for a while, I've heard.
Any other comments from commissioners or elected officials?
I'll comment on an email I sent out yesterday. Commissioner Klinkenbeard and I met with Sheriff Fell last Friday, and we talked about some issues that happened at the courthouse with gentlemen getting inside in body armor and stuff like that. So we're going to work with Terry here after this meeting to kind of create an ordinance. Although we all know it's just common sense, you shouldn't wear body armor or anything into a courthouse or government building. We're going to have something with legal authority to make sure we can hold those people accountable. The one thing we talked about was food delivery. I do it. I order Jimmy John's all the time. They come to my office over here on the west side of the building, and they go completely around the security. And I know that there's other doors in this building where people are getting their food. One thing that's concerning is the possibility of a delivery driver getting on Amazon or whatever and purchasing a DoorDash carrier, a DoorDash hat, and somebody that's completely off the rails coming in this building and taking action against somebody they don't like. That scares me. That scares the commissioners. Not really scares us, it's just we're worried about something happening. So although some people will probably get upset, I understand that, but probably what the best thing that will happen is we'll probably get with Ricky in building security. Ricky doesn't even have a clue about this yet, but we'll install some shelving that just will say food deliveries before you get to the security checkpoint. And everybody has the updates on their phone as you order it, or on your computer. You're going to get a text or email when your food gets here. You can go get your food. What we don't want to see is one of your employees taking 30 minutes to go wait by the door for their food to get there. That's not necessary. You can probably figure it out when your food's going to get there. There's always a timeline. This isn't a building security issue. They do their job, but likely the person may go through the metal detector, but they're setting their food to the side as they do that, skipping around the metal detector and stuff like that. So we just want to make sure everybody's safe, especially with what happened a couple weeks ago. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to deal with it. It's only to keep everybody safe. But like I said in my email, if you have an opinion about it, send me an email. I'll send it to Jordan. She can deal with it. And it'll be fine.
Yeah, we just keep cleaning things up, tidying up, don't we? Yep. Any other comments?
Jared, do you have anything after this meeting? Okay. Commissioner Morris, if we could take a quick recess and we'll get Jared up here.
Recess, and we'll have a area planning meeting. Thank you.